So my wife is always telling me that it's inevitable that if we're at a party, she could be bouncing around talking to all these different people. But when she goes to look for me, I'm going to be off in some corner having a deep philosophical life meaning conversation with somebody. Now, what I've learned is that surface conversations, they're nice, but they're like Kool-Aid. They're sweet and they're just full of a lot of sugar. If I really want to make impact as a man, I have to learn how to make meaningful, deep connections with others. The real impact that happens is when we learn how to make those deep connections with others. On today's video, we're gonna learn 5 power tips to learn how to improve your social skills and make meaningful connections as a man. If you're ready to learn, let's dive in. Number 1 on learning how to improve my social skills and making meaningful connections as a man. We have to learn how to be confident. Now, confidence, I believe, is a skill that every man can learn how to master. Yes, there are men that are just born naturally confident, but for most of us as men, we have to learn how to be confident in certain situations. When I walk into a room, I have to learn that, look, I'm showing up as who I am, no matter how I am, and I have to be willing to have whatever people think about me or how they view me not affect my confidence. So when I want to be more social, I have to show up and present myself in a way that shows that I'm more confident as a man. When I was in the military, there were some very simple things that we learned on how to be and how to act more confident. Number 1, standing up straight, right? Keeping a right posture, how I'm presenting myself, shoulders squared back. These are little simple things that I learned earlier on that really helped me to feel more confident. Another way for me to be able to increase my confidence is how I dress, how I present myself to the world. Am I paying attention to those little details that allow myself to look better and show up better in the situation or in that circumstance? Number 2, and I spoke about this on another video on improving your communication skills, and I'll make sure I link that down below, but we have to learn how to listen. Whenever I'm having those deep, meaningful conversations with someone, oftentimes I'm not really saying a lot of things. I'm just asking a lot more questions because guess what? People love to talk about themselves. They love to share stories about things that they've experienced, things that they've had happen in their life. They're just waiting for someone to sit down and listen to the things that have happened in their lives. So many times when I'm in those situations, I'm just simply asking a lot of questions and sitting back and listening. So as a man, if I want to improve my social skills and make those meaningful connections, I have to learn how to improve and hone in on my listening skills. This ties into number 3. I have to learn how to focus on the other person and make them feel like the conversation, the main focus of the conversation is really about them. Because at the end of the day, it really is about the other person that I'm having this conversation with. I already know who I am, things that are in my mind, but when I'm having those times when I'm trying to learn how to connect with other people, I'm really just focused on what they have to say and the stories that they have to communicate to me. So learning how to be and learning we can do this in some very simple ways, simply by making eye contact with the other person, letting them know that we're really focusing in on them speaking and what it is that they're trying to communicate to us. Number 4, and I've also done a video on this, but learning how to be open and vulnerable. When I'm able to open up myself and be vulnerable with another person and just be an open book, people appreciate that. They understand, look, I appreciate the fact that when we're having this conversation and we're talking about things, that you don't have to close up, but that you can open up and really share the things that you're going through and things that you've experienced, so that you can really share the things that you're going through and the things that you've experienced. That can be so helpful in communicating and really making an impact and making a meaningful impact with somebody else. I've opened up many a times and shared stories with people on things that I've gone through, only to find out and realize that they're going through the same thing, or they just got done going through the same situation and now they need help in figuring out how they can navigate through these different things. So being open and vulnerable is definitely a way to be able to connect. And number 5, learn how to practice positive body language. is the majority of our conversations that we have with people oftentimes is more communicated through our body language and how we're perceiving our body language to others around us. So I've learned how to have that positive body language, how to sit and face them and to let them know that I'm listening to them, let them know that I'm hearing what they're saying. Making that eye contact is huge, right? Making those facial expressions of smiling, of nodding my head, understanding that I'm listening, that I'm receiving what you're saying. These are some little cues that, you know what? If we get into the habit of working on these things as men, I can guarantee you that as you begin to start having more social conversations, begin to start connecting with people, because you're focused on these little habits, you'll be able to make a bigger impact on how you're communicating with these people that you're having conversations with. So let's recap. Number 1, learn how to be confident. Number 2, learn how to listen. Number 3, focus on the other person. Number 4, be vulnerable and open. And then number 5, learn how to practice positive body language. Before I sign off, we are looking to help discover the challenges that men are facing if they feel stuck and they feel frustrated, and trying to find a simple path to living their purpose, living their power, and living their God-given position. So if you're a man out there and that's you, drop down below. I put a link down there where you can set up a free 15-minute call so we can help get on the phone, figure out what some of those challenges are, and figure out how to make some solutions. So until next time, this has been Nick with the Life Recreated channel. Keep learning, keep healing, and keep growing. Peace.